G'day everyone, Rach here from Rara's Realm. Welcome to a new fortnight of stitching. I am a Kiwi Flosstuber and I'm coming to you from a bit of a chilly but sunny South Island of New Zealand. So I am sharing my cross-stitch progress in my year of madness, if you've not seen before. Whereby I draw balls out of a hat and choose my projects for the next fortnight, which is what we're going to do today. So if this is your first viewing, welcome. For those returning, nice to see you all, and we will crack on. So I have 3 things to share from last week, a little bit of haul, and then we'll choose the new projects. If you were here last week, I've got the phone handy in case I have to turn the video off because the nurse will ring. I care for my mother, if you don't know that. They didn't come to the afternoon last week, so I'm hoping that it might be the same. You know, they get in their little rhythm, so the Monday nurse I'm hoping is going to be on an afternoon. So anyway, let's crack on. So last Monday was the second day of working on Orchard Valley Quilting Bee, and then I had it again as my focus piece 2 more days, so I ran those 4 days together. So this is Orchard Valley Quilting Bee by Little House Needleworks, and I am now officially 3/4 of the way through. I was working on, can't figure it out through the back, this block last time, and I think I had just started the house when I showed it to you last. So with those good days of stitching, I got that block finished and I made a start on the centre block. So the centre block is a rectangle. If I hold the whole thing up, the centre block is a rectangle like the words at the top, and then I've just got the 2 more in that corner. So I have in my mind, we're in May, I'm going to monitor how often this comes up over the next, let's say till the end of, or middle June, a month, something like that, next couple of goes. If I'm not pulling it out, I'm actually going to automatically give it 2 days, I think, because I would really like to get that finished this year, and we're now pushing the 6 months halfway point of the year, so I would like, as I say, to get it done. So if we don't get a lot of stitching on it over the next month, I think I will automatically do that. It automatically gets 2 days, so then I only pull 6 projects out. Anyway, right, so then the next thing I had to do was to fully finish something. And I actually made an executive decision and changed the rule. No, I didn't change the rules, I changed the ball. I had been mulling over my Hade. So this is my Hade. It's artwork by Donna Gelsinger. Silent Night Lane is the name of the chart. And I had done a little start and I had followed the instructions in here, which said 2/1 on 25 count. And I, if you have been watching, was aware that, you might have been aware, I can't even find where that bit was now. I've got all this fabric like you see Priscilla and Chelsea have. So that is was my start. There you go, cheat. 2/1 on 20, it should actually be that way around technically, but that doesn't really matter. I just wasn't enjoying it. One of the girls at Stitchy Group said to me I should be doing 1/1, and then I read a thread on Stitch Mania. Someone asked the question about 2/1 on 25 count, and everybody said ignore the chart and do it 1/1. So I mulled over this for a bit and I decided I was going to restart. So I have restarted. I've flipped my fabric around 180 degrees and restarted. At this point in time, I'm not unpicking what I started until I get to the bottom and I see where that lines up. So if the edge of the chart, the bottom of the chart is sort of down here somewhere, I'm not unpicking, but if it's right up here, I'll have to unpick. So this is my start 1/1. It's only one colour, and I've just been developing a method, if you like. I haven't watched a lot of videos of people who do hades, and at the moment, until I add another colour, I've got a little process whereby I'm coming down in columns. So I'm not travelling across, I'm coming down in each of these columns. And when I get to the last stitch of that colour, I'm colouring that square in with a coloured pencil. I tried a pen that nearly ballsed up the whole blooming page. I would have to have reprinted it, thankfully it's a PDF. So I know when I see that little coloured square, that number has been stitched all the way to that point. So I'm going, I'm not doing the sewing method with this, I'm doing stab and pull. So I'm going left to right and then down the column. So I'll travel over and I travel back because it's DMC. So I know that when I pick up this same colour again down anywhere down here, that's as far as I've got. Does that make sense? So each column has a little dot of colour on the chart where I have reached the end of that colour so far. So I know in these two columns are pretty much done for this colour. This one needs some more. So I know I pick it up from basically this square here and carry down, and then I'll put another colour in the square when I finish that lot for this session, you know what I mean. So I'll see how that works. I do not know anything about parking, and I see all these threads and stuff like that. I don't know. We'll just see. Anyway, I feel a little bit happier about it. It's stitched a lot nicer. It looks a lot nicer. There might be hope for the hate after all. And then Saturday and Sunday was the Viewer's Choice New Start, which was Blessed Be by Brenda Gervais. So I have got a bit of a start on that. I'm using the called for fabric and threads. I think it's Summer Khaki is the fabric, and that's my start. That's the width of the pattern, and it'll be that, it's a square, so it's that high again. So I've got the start of the beekeeper in her blue dress. The skips are done, the bottom is done. So there's a house here and then foliage and flowers. So I think this actually, the house will be a bit time consuming, but I actually think this will move relatively quickly. I don't expect this will take more than a couple of months, subject to how often it's pulled out. So that is Blessed Be. Then my little bit of haul. So that's not, you've seen that one. If you remember last week I mentioned about how I had placed, or I had ordered, I had me pleased 2 lots on a stash unload site. Stash unloading, I think it is. And I got the first lot last week, which was the 2 Jessie and Me charts. Jessie and Me, You and I and Friends. You and I and Friends, I think they were. And from the same seller I got 4 Prairie Schoolers. So I got the 1987 Santa and the 1999 Santa. He's quite groovy with all his gingerbread. And then I got Sunshine and Shadow, which I'd not seen before. And then, it was 2 weeks ago at Stitchy Group. One of my friends at Stitchy Group had actually been to the local market and picked this up for 20 cents at the market, the same chart. I'm thinking this might be the Prairie Schooler I start to work on. I'm going to put this in for kitting up, and then once I've got all the supplies for it, I'm going to start it, and in the meantime I'll keep working on those red work Santas. So that can go in the kitting up pile, please. And the last one I got from her, which I have never seen before, it's book number 24, called Prairie Birds. And it's lovely. So I haven't even thought about trying to do any of them at this point in time. I just got it because I liked it. Certainly I like all the birdhouses. So it'll just get filed away for now. And my other order that came, which might surprise a few people, but I've been thinking about this for a while, and I will say actually that my unicorn piece is a Mirabilia. My unicorn piece is Touching the Autumn Sky. If anyone finds it for $2.50 in a market or a second-hand shop, buy it and let me know. I'll PayPal you hundreds of dollars, sort of. So I ordered Petal Fairy, which I have seen one of the very first Flosstubers who I binged watched, which was Reverse Stitching with Claire, an English girl. Sadly, she doesn't seem to do many videos anymore, but I really liked her. Anyway, she had stitched this, which was how I always knew about this particular one. And the other one I got because I really like them and I couldn't decide, but I chose this one, Mermaids of the Deep Blue, this is called, and this will be the one I would start. Don't shout at me, Donna. One day in the future. I'm not even going to kit them up at this point. Does it tell you? It's 166 by 312, so it falls out of my sort of ideal stitch range for this year of madness. What's Petal Fairy? 161 by 287. Okay. Yeah, so at this point in time there's no plans for them. I just picked them up. It's not often I've seen this in stock in a shop before, and as it turned out it wasn't in stock. They had to send me an email to say that it was on its way from the distributor. It is a pet peeve of mine if you list something in stock and you don't actually have it in stock. Anyway, right, ball jangling time. Let's choose some. I feel I'm a little bit far away, but anyway, we will manage. I need my pen and paper. I don't think I need my eyes. Right, so I know at the moment I haven't pulled the balls out, but there are 2 empty balls, so if I get those 2 I'll have to redraw. Right, so the first ball out of the bag. FFO! Oh, I'm not doing it. I'm not FFOing. I'm starting again. It's my game, it's my rules. I'm not doing it. And if this is... Okay, focus piece. Excellent. Right. So that is Orchard Valley Quilting Bee. Good. Right. I don't want to do any sewing at the moment. So I don't want that other one as well. Okay, so this ball says number 5, and that's the one that doesn't have a project at the moment because I'm not starting enough projects. And that's the other one, number 4, hasn't got a project attached to it either. No. Okay, we're doing well. We've pulled 4 balls and only got 1 thing so far. Closest to finish. Okay. I wonder what that is. I'll have to think about that. Oh, I know what it is. We'll wait and see if I get it first. Yay! Santa's Village. We haven't had Santa's Village for a while. Number 2. Number 2 is Blessed Bee. Okay. Let's get into a corner. Okay, Prairie Schooler. Okay, so that throws a spanner in the works. Orchard Valley Quilting Bee. Alright, so that gets 4 days. I'm quite happy with, because as I've said, I want to get it done. Last ball. or maybe second to last depending on what's on it. With a good shake around, we'll have that one. Number 1, oh, okay, we haven't had that for a while. That's Joy, Country Cottage Needleworks Joy. Okay, oh, that's a good mix now. Let's just shove those back in. Okay, so I have got Prairie Schooler and I have got Closest to Finish, which was going to be one and the same. So I think I will have a look at what I've got and do something different for Closest to Finish, and I will just finish that Prairie Schooler in its slot and probably start a second one. I get to it relatively easily. Actually, that's not Closest to Finish. I might do a bit of jiggery pokery with Closest to Finish. So these are the red work Santas, and then the one I'm working on down here is this one, and I only need to do the back stitching on it. As you can see, he's pretty much done. So on the Prairie Schooler days I will finish him and I'll start another one because I'm nowhere near ready. My plan for Prairie Schooler is to work on this now, but I've got to kit it up first. So that'll be a job for this week. So I'll do a little bit of thinking about my Closest to Finish, and yeah, I don't think I've got anything else really Closest to Finish. We'll think I might even either do some Haid that day, which is the furthest from finish. Maybe I need a ball furthest from finish. Someone at Stitchy Group suggested that because I was saying that Santa's Village, Lucy Calcott and Garden Club series do not get pulled out very often, and they suggested because I have an awful lot of balls, I should add a few more in. Let's say Garden Club, Santa's Village or Lucy Calcott, so I've got a higher chance of getting them out. But I'm not going to do that. I knew that this year would be like this. So anyway, I'm waffling a little bit and the phone hasn't rung and I'm not going to tempt fate. So I will do a quick run through. So we'll have Orchard Valley Quilting Bee for the next 2 days. Closest to Finish I might do a bit of jiggery pokery with because I really think Prairie Schooler is the one. I don't think I've got anything else that's Closest to Finish, so I might actually change that to free choice and just do something that I want to do on those 2 days. Then we'll have Santa's Village for a couple of days, and I think I've just started part 4. Blessed Bee you've just seen, the Prairie Schooler I've just shown you, so I will do the back stitching to finish that one, and I will start another one because it's going to take me a good couple of weeks. This Prairie Schooler is DMC, which is fine, I can get that here, it's just the fabric. Oh yeah, that's right. So I've got to kind of figure out the fabric for this. Experienced Stitches, I might have to put this on Stitch Mania actually. 14 count Lineda is what it says on here. Lineda cloth courtesy of Charles Craft. Looking at the colour of this, subject to me having enough of it, I'm wondering about just lamb's wool. I'm going to lose things in a minute. This is lamb's wool. I think that is light enough that you could possibly get away with lamb's wool. Give me your opinion. Okay, so that was Prairie Schooler. Then 2 more days on Orchard Valley, and I'll split them this time I think, and then the last chart I'll work on is Joy, which if you haven't seen recently, if you've not been around for a while, I'll just get the chart that out rather than the photo because it'll make too much noise. So this is Joy. You'll have seen it. It's a Country Cottage Needlework. So I've got the west of the word, I've got another border and a border down the bottom, so we'll work on I'll do a bit of, be quite good if I could get to the point where here is all complete. So start this border, fill in the snowflakes. We'll see. Anyway, so that's my lot. I have waffled for long enough. As I say, I haven't tempted fate. The phone hasn't rung. I'm going to check the video back, tidy my mess, and get on with the day. Have a good stitchy week, everyone, and I will catch you next week for a mid, fortnight update. And maybe some haul. I've got one thing from Stash Unload I'm waiting for, and something from a shop I've never used before. Subject to videoing? No. Subject to visiting the shop in town. See, it's choking me, the idea of doing it. It's choking me. The shop in town that now stocks cross-stitch stuff. I've got to go into the city on Wednesday, so I am toying with going. Anyway, stop waffling, I'm going. Have a good week, and I will catch you next week. Bye.